An attack on a mosque in the eastern region of Boani, this is in Burkina Faso, has left dozens of worshippers dead on the same day that another deadly attack in Essakane, this is in the country's northeast, killed at least 15 worshippers attending a Sunday mass in a Catholic church. The attackers are reported to have launched a large-scale early morning attack in the town of Boani and surrounded the mosque before shooting at the faithful who were gathered there for prayers. Now, a church official in Essakane said that suspected Islamist militants were to blame for the attack. The northern region of Essakane is in what is known as the three borders zone, with common borders of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. More than a third of Burkina Faso is currently under the control of Islamist insurgents. I spoke to Adib Saanj, a security analyst who specializes in the region, and I began by asking him about what he made of the attacks in these two regions.
Well, the attacks have become a consistent pattern in Burkina Faso. Indeed, there's been a series of high-profile attacks between the 23rd and the 25th of February, in which about 6 attacks were reported. But there are a lot more attacks that happen. Unfortunately, that is not reported because it happens in the remotest parts of the country.
If I'm looking at some data here from the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, the number of people killed by armed groups has nearly tripled as compared with the previous 18 months. This is according to an August 2023 report. What factors would you say are contributing to these worrying statistics?
Well, first of all, let me indicate clearly that according to the Global Terrorism Index, last year's report, it indicated that Burkina Faso is the second most impacted country by terrorism globally. And the region is the most impacted region by terrorism globally, accounting for about 42%. I think we've had a number of interventions, MINUSMA, Operation Barkhane, Takuba, the Joint Task Force, and even the Accra Initiative. But when you look at it closely, you would realize the focus is very much centered on the military approach, which I must say is not helping situations rather than focusing on human development. Indeed, they've become so strong in the area to the extent that the government has armed civilians, the VDPs, okay, the volunteer corps made up of civilians who have been armed and given a week training to counter the terrorists. Unfortunately, it is assuming an ethnic nature because in some cases, these VDPs operate just like the jihadists, and they allegedly attack people of Fulani extraction, and that is what is playing into the hands of terrorists who are using it as a recruitment propaganda, so to speak, getting the Fulanis and telling them that, look, the people are against you, they are killing you, they are raping your women, they are killing your mothers and fathers. And so you have to join us because we are the savior. And I think that is also accounting for the large number of people we are seeing join the ranks of the terrorists.
Well, the most recent attacks were on a church and a mosque. Were these meant to inflate tensions between religious groups in the area?
Absolutely. From the information I am gathering on the ground with respect to the mosque, they have accused the mosque imam of not praying well, and that their mode of prayers, which I'm yet to understand what exactly it is, was inconsistent with Sharia. And so to serve as a warning to them, the attacks were carried out. And the mosque and the church, which occurred somewhere around Dori in the northern part of the country, is also obviously meant to scare people and meant to send a message to the population that if you work closely in any way, whether directly or indirectly, with the security services or with the government, we will come after you. If we don't get you, we go after your family.
So how would you say the situation is exacerbated by the fact that Burkina Faso is surrounded, by other countries going through similar security challenges, Mali, Niger, and there's the porous border situation? Does that have any impact?
Because of the tightly knit nature of the West African community, whatever happens in one country has the potential of spilling over into another country. And lately, because of the sanctions imposed on these countries, it has reduced state capacity and capability to confront the terrorism scourge, which is posing an existential threat to the security of the wider West African sub-region.